Okay, so at the end of the day, um, and we'll end with automation, how to get there. At the end of the day, I have I chose to leave the Rhodes out. It's by itself. The bass, it's by itself. Now, here's most of the stuff in the mix. Drum bus, all my drums, all those little synth instruments, they're all summed together. The guitars, they are summed together. And the background vocals are all together, right? So I left Tyler's voice out as well because I wanted to give him like his own special thing. And I wanted the same thing for this, for the Rhodes and the bass. I mean, I could have put this in the synths bus, but well, after we get through with this mix and we move on to class, you'll see why I left these two out. All right, cool. So let me play the track. All right, so you can see everything summed together. You know what? Let me go back and so we can hear Tyler. Put everything back together again here. All right. Okay. All my drums here gone. All my guitars are muted. Don't you know now? It's the perfect time. These are my background vocals. Right, hit the city lights, and tonight needs the love and pain. Drums. Let me take it to the max. Oh, you know the reason why you don't hear Tyler's voice is because I didn't finish the comp track. So I'm trying to find examples of when you can use some automation. Let's go back to the lady, and won't you take me there right away, won't you, baby? Tender on it, you've got to be marked by nature, sugar fly with me. Don't you know now? It's the perfect time. We can make it right at the city light. Okay, so look, I'm really not going for, you know, if you want, you can be really artistic with this, but see, let's open up some possibilities here. All right, look at the background vocals, and this is how you're going to be getting to automation. If you go to your tracks list over here, right, and I have a whole separate video about this that I'm going to post just about automation. Right here, see where it says volume, right? I can go over, because there's no waveform here, by the way, and I'm working from an aux track. So it gives me these options, right? So this is from the aux track, my background vocals aux track, because I might want to do some automation there. In a regular track, let's say bass, by default, each audio track, not auxiliary track, comes up by default as waveform. If I click here, this is when I begin to get my first automation lane. And this is the entire range of volume from the track, right? And I'm controlling it here, right? See, you can see when I click right there, I'm dragging the overall volume. And if I make another little dot, let me go to finger tool here. Click here. Now I'm raising. This is what we would call automation. Nothing's playing right now, but you'll see what happens with the bass. You'll see the volume slowly go up. Right? Nothing's playing right now because there's no music. Right? And that's why I stop. Notice when I hit spacebar, it goes back to where the automation started, from right there. Right? Because I'm playing back from right there. Now, I'm not even sure if I want that automation, but let's say, for example, I have my automation happening. See, we're playing from the pre-chorus into the chorus. All right, let's see how this sounds. Take it from right here. Needs the love and pain. Let me take it to the max. Okay, so let's say for some reason, I just wanted the bass to be like a little more pronounced in this area right here. I could have done this two ways. I have a gap to work with. I could have just selected the entire region of audio, right? And I'm gonna use my smart tool. So if I hover above the line, what's gonna happen is that this part that's shaded will be automated, meaning that it won't be playing from this level. I can grab this and grab everything equally that's shaded and maybe just nudge the bass up just a little bit to where when the chorus the chorus actually starts, it's a little more louder and energetic.
Let me take it to the max.
Now, in turn, that's me working from the bass track. Maybe I want my drums to kind of pick up in intensity as well. Now, we just talked about this. The buses can be automated. You should take advantage of that. So here, I have my drum bus and volume, and maybe I'll do the same thing. Now, notice I'm working with the smart tool, and remind yourself that you hit the escape key. If you look at the top of the screen here, that's me just cycling through these things. So maybe I'm starting off in here. All right, and I do the same area. And then in addition to raising the bass, maybe the drums come up a little bit too. See how that feels.
Is the love and pain. Let me take it to the max.
I mean, it's a big difference. I mean, I'm not sure if you can hear it through your headphones that you're working with, but just that slight thing, that means that I can, I'm kind of cooking in that area. Now, that's one way I could have did it. Let me erase this. So that's one approach. Maybe I just take the, let's see, little finger tool, which would be in conjunction with the hand, by the way. And I click once here. I can do it this way. Maybe nudge it here. Let me undo what I did. Oh, by the way, if you want to undo any automation, click and drag using the selector tool and just delete. All right. So let's say I want to do the same thing here. There, little automation, bing. All right. Okay, so check this out. I like what this guitar is doing by itself, right? Because I have two guitar parts playing. Guitar 1, guitar 2. Maybe this is a little space because on the verses, this guitar is doing all the little fills. And actually, when I think about it, hold on. Let's play this back from the top. Okay, so look, let's go over here to waveform. Got my volume. Click once. Maybe I want a little more of this. All right, and the verse. See how that works? That's better. Okay, so that's the only guitar part that's playing from the verse and the pre-chorus.
Where did you come from, lady? And oh, won't you take me there right away?
Okay, so I like that on the verse, intro, and pre-chorus. But here, when it's combined with this and it comes in, it just feels too loud when they're both together. Like, see how that kind of, jumps out? So maybe in this track, I run some automation this way. And on the the choruses, I can just bring that down and make it more manageable. Let's bring this down again. Something like that. Maybe I want to do that. Maybe I'm working with background vocals. Because, let's see, how do I have these mixed? These are all bust, by the way. Right? These are the first parts that I believe I did with Joey and Janae.
Now, it's the perfect time.
And the solos. Okay. All right. So maybe I like the little vibe that I have. Notice I have the high parts really far to the left and right. I gave Joey his own space here in regards to panning, and this is me up here, and I might be the lowest because I kind of want to be heard but not heard. That's me. So I got a decent blend, all right? And I did the same thing for the other background parts that are over here when we reach the chorus. And they're being all routed here, by the way. Okay, so this was kind of loud at this section. And I like my vibe here. I'd rather automate the bus here. You know what I'm saying? So I don't have to mess with any of this stuff. I was kind of feeling that. So let me go back. Let's see, right here. These are those vocals right here. This is the hook. Let me unsolo everything.
Now it's the perfect time. We can make it right with the city lights. And tonight is the love and pain. Let me take it to the max.
And when you think about it, I was probably better off making this its own subgroup, but that's fine. So let's see, I think in the middle we start to fall off.
And tonight is the love and pain.
Okay, here, so maybe I want to do a little bump in volume here, right? And you notice how it turns into a bracket. Drag up a little more, just, am I muted? Went to volume. All right, cool. Volume. That last verse right there, that last bit of the pre-chorus.
Let me take it to the max.
That might be too much, maybe a little less.
Let me take it to the max.
Okay. All right, so maybe I want these to be louder to support the vocal. A little crazy. There he is. So I'm using automation on the bus by grabbing and selecting regions. Now, here's a little more about automation. If you continue to go down, there are these different options. You can see how everything could be muted, right? Maybe I want to mute everything. Let's see. Starting right here, but ending right there, right? You can drag that down. Made two little points. So this is gonna be muting all of my
pain. Let me take it to the max.
That's one option you have. And then you also have the option of panning between left and right. But I already have this panned. All right, so I can go left and right. Now, if you want to see all the different lanes together, you can right here, right? This little corner here where you see the two little dots, that looks like a little automation line. If you click on each one, if you keep hitting plus, this adds another lane, right? Another lane. It shows you all the automation data for that track. So this way, because by default, let's say that you've done some panning stuff, and you're here, you do have the option of going to pan, right? And say, okay, it's my pan left and right lanes, but you only have one choice. Oh, okay, this lane can show that you've muted something. If you hit the plus, it allows you to give multiple lanes, and you can assign what goes to each lane. I mean, this could have been the volume here, right? But it makes no sense of having the volume here and here. That's a waste of space. So maybe I have my mute there. So it's an option, and if you want to get rid of that, you can do that, right? And we'll be using that for future use. But use little small some small automation moves. I don't think you have to be do anything drastic. And that'll be most of the assignment. it's a little bit of work, but it'll be enjoyable. You're mixing stuff together and it's just learning how to get a good balance together. So this is the your pre-mixing midterm work, and it gets a little more complex. We'll start adding some more effects. All right, there's your visual guide to get you through this.